Hello, Taurus. Dwight asks himself, whenever I'm about to do something, I think, would an idiot do that? And if they would, I do not do that thing. So the key words here are that he asks himself if an idiot would do that. He doesn't ask other people. He doesn't ask ChatGPT. He asks himself. So whatever's going on right now in your life, don't ask for someone else's opinion. Don't let what others tell you influence what you need to do right now. You are the one that knows what you need. You are the one that can figure it out, Taurus. Ask yourself what you need. Maybe ask yourself if an idiot would do that, and if you think an idiot would do that, then don't do it. But don't let someone else say that an idiot would do that. Don't let that influence. If you really don't think an idiot would do it, doop. Now I'm just talking to talk. So very simple. Ask yourself. The only thing that matters in this moment is what you think and not what others think. Ooh, there's a bunch of options. Yup. Okay. 9 of Pentacles, huh? Alright. Okay. Cool. 5, 6, 7. See, look, all the cups. There's so many options. Which one should he pick? There's so many people telling you to go this way and that. Which one should you pick? Well, which one excites you? Which one makes you feel like this lady? 9 of Pentacles. She has it all. And it's materialized. Nice. What is it you would want to do? What makes you feel like you have it all? That you don't need anything else? What do you want to spend your time on? Seven to 9. Are you working from 7 to 9? Is that one of the options that makes you feel excited? Taurus. 9 of Pentacles. Here, I'll give you the first couple characteristics. I jumped right to the 9 of Pentacles, by the way, from this book. Achievement, success, prosperity, flourishing, comfort, resourcefulness. Should the fool remain diligent, she will find herself in the 9 of Pentacles, where she can finally relax and enjoy the fruits of her labor. Okay. Her journey has not been easy. She has to be dedicated, resourceful, patient, and even give up basic comforts. Her rewards have been hard-earned. There are no real stresses for her right now. She enjoys the freedom and pleasure she worked for. What makes you feel that way? And if you feel that way right now and people are telling you that you shouldn't feel that way, don't listen to them. Right? Listen to your emotions. Slow down. Interesting. You want to rush a decision, maybe. So this turtle has been popping up a lot. So I think that's kind of interesting. Like for a lot of people and a lot of readings that I've done, the slowing down card has popped up a lot. During these times, apparently it's very good for everybody to slow down a little bit. We feel like we need to rush perfection, right? But you can't rush a seed to be a flower. It grows in its own time. Same with life. Interesting. Nine of Pentacles. Maybe you feel like you want to be in this position already, but it's going to take a little more time. And if that makes you feel like a drag, like, oh, more time doing this, then you know that's not what you want to be doing. Imagine if I gave you a video game and I said you can play this for as long as you want, as many hours as you want, from 7 to 9. Imagine how excited one would be if it's something they enjoyed. And then that time flies by. It feels like it was been only a couple of minutes, a couple of hours, when a bunch of hours have passed by. That is what slow down. Interesting, right? A bunch of hours pass by, but it feels like a couple of minutes, a couple, not that long. So that's what you want to be looking for, right? You're asking yourself, you know how you feel whenever you find something exciting that you wouldn't mind doing for a long time. And that's what this reading is asking you to look for. To work, right? Work on something that makes you excited, makes you want to work on it, where it doesn't feel like work, where it feels more like play. Consciousness, Ace of Clouds, nice. The mind, this is the potential of the mind. It'll find the way. You just gotta type in, an address, right? You gotta type in what you want, and your mind will find your way. Silence can lead the way. Interesting. Instead of thinking so many thoughts, so many different directions, when you're silent, the right one will pop up. And you will know when it does, because it's going to make you feel excited. It's going to make time slow down. When it pops up, you're going to ask yourself, would an idiot do that? And then you're going to do that thing anyways. So slow down. Silence. Wait for it to come and you will know. Look at that, the lovers popped up. Beautiful. Don't forget about your first love, and that is yourself. You are your first love. Can't forget about your first love. Okay, when you were a kid, what was your first, the things you loved to do, right? Your first loves. That's definitely going to be a huge And I'm thinking of like Avatar, how they knew he was the Avatar because of the toys that he picked, right? Out of thousands of toys, he picked coincidentally, the ones that the Avatar, he always picks. The lovers. So for me, whenever somebody says higher self, right? Like I said, that is your first love. So we live down here, the earth, where life is distorted and not perfect. Us. And this is where our guardian angel lives. And that is us. But, right, it's like our guardian angel is the one playing the game with the controller. And then we are the one in the game, the one doing all of the moves. And then this is one behind all the moves. And that is what this one's all about. When the one times 2. See now this guardian angel is the reflection of this God, our home. So pattern of 3, and then this is 1, right? And then the first reflection, and then the 3, the third, and then this pops up, and that's us. That's what the lovers wanted to say. And the devil. Ooh. If this is the highest of the high, and this is the lowest of the low, and we are here, and we say that God is up there, and we say that heaven is up there, well, what's the opposite? The opposite of heaven is hell. The opposite of God is the devil, which is us. Devil is a teacher, is a school, right? You've probably heard people describe the earth, humans, that way, that it's just kind of more of a school that you can graduate from. Well, if this is a school, then, and the devil is the top guy here. Well, he's just a teacher, top teacher, right? He gives us tests, right? It's up to us to pass the tests. But, you know, in middle school, high school, when the teachers gave us tests, were they bad people for giving us tests? No, it was just to see what we've learned. So imagine that's what the devil does. He gives you tests. You know, but people blame him whenever they fail these tests, right? They say, the devil made me do it, right? But he didn't make you do anything. He gave you the options. You are the one that ultimately did the thing. So, and that's what I think of the devil, is that he gets a bad image, you know, for no reason. When he's just a teacher giving us the tests, he's hoping we pass, you know. And it's up to us to be responsible enough to make the right decisions, and when we don't make the right decisions, to admit that we made the wrong decision and to correct it. And only we can do that, right? Ask yourself if the option you're choosing is the one you really want. And don't blame anyone else for making that decision, because it's up to you. It's your responsibility. Alright, you're the one playing the game. I hope you guys can hear my dog drinking water. Thirsty. You're thirsty. Water, turtle. Yeah, I feel like something I said would be part of the life that you would want to live, right? But I feel. And then these cards, oof, man, to end with that, the lovers and then the devil, beautiful, beautiful. Big energies. Ooh, I just felt the chill. Taurus, huh? Ooh, Taurus, nice. That's dope. That is your card. Yeah, this is who you are. Yeah, ask yourself. Nice. That's cool. Cool horns. Here, this elephant has horns. Wisdom. Ooh, what was his name? I can't remember, but he has a cool story. You should find out about the elephant head person, and I don't know, I've heard Sadhguru talk about it. Or Shiva cut his son's head off because he didn't know it was his head, it was his son and stuff. There was a miscommunication, accident. And so he replaced replaced it with an elephant head. And he became the image of wisdom and knowing, like this. He knows stuff. Your higher self, right? Your guardian angel knows stuff. This devil knows stuff. This turtle knows stuff. They live a long time. Even Dwight knows stuff. Yeah. How you feeling, Taurus? I feel like something that was said kind of relieved some tension. At least that's how I feel right now. Ooh, we're saying goodbye to something. Huh. One of those options that you've been doing, you don't want to do anymore, maybe? So we're saying goodbye. Alright, this is my grass is always greener. Oh. Alright, we're gonna take a look at this. Michael says, you know what's funny? I used to stand in here and wish I was out there. This goes along very well with the reading. Now I'm out there. And I wish I wasn't here. Jim, well, the grass is always greener. Except there's no grass out there, says Michael. And that's when Jim and Michael were co-managers. And then they were given the option of one needed to step down. 2 sales, back to sales, and there was going to be only one manager. And Jim found out that he can make a lot more money being a salesman. So he volunteered to give up that manager spot so that he can make more money as a salesman. And then Michael figured out he could make more money as a salesman, so he said he would step down. Right? But Michael doesn't want to be a salesman. He wants to be a manager. Yeah, that's what Michael wants to do. Even if he makes less money, he wants to be a manager. But so he was a salesman for a little bit, and Jim was the only manager. And that's when Michael said that the grass is greener, that he was out there, and now he wishes he was in the manager's office again. But that's how cool is that? He started in the manager's office, he left it, and that's what made him realize, damn, I want to be in that manager's spot again. And so they eventually went back to normal. He was manager and he was happy about it. And Jim was back in the salesman, where he also shines best. Cool. So even don't see it as a mistake. Don't beat yourself up. Don't see something as a mistake. See it as it's just life showing you, making you appreciate what you really love. You can't know love if you don't also know what hate is, because now we compare it, compare the two, and now we know what love is. Alright, you can't see things without a background. Can't tell colors apart. If all of these were the same color, I wouldn't be able to tell things apart. Gotta know the bad to know what's good. Ooh, 38. Nice. Yep. Beautiful. Beautiful message to end on. This is my Guten Prank card. This is at the very end of the office when Jim was Dwight's bestishment, his best man for the wedding. And they took him out, and Jim pushed him out of the car, and Dwight thought he was going to get whacked with a bazooka. But he said, nope, you're the one doing the firing. And Dwight fired a bazooka. How cool was that? But he thought something bad was happening. He thought it was another prank by Jim, right? It may seem like the universe is pranking you, but do not worry. It is a Guten prank, just like all of Jim's Guten pranks at the very end. He was the bestest Schmidt. So imagine this higher self that we've been talking about, this guardian angel. That's your bestest Schmidt. And sometimes she does things that make you feel like things aren't good. I'm gonna get whacked. But they end up being a Guten prank. They end up being good, even if it's just to show you what good is. Even if it's to show you what bad is. But life has your back, Taurus. Whatever it is you want is what you should be doing. Hell yeah. It takes courage. It takes only the strong listen to what they want. Especially kind of like Naruto, right? He was from the very beginning saying he was going to be Hokage. Everybody told him he's an idiot. No, but guess what? He didn't care what they said. He ended up being Hokage anyways, right? Luffy says he's going to be king of the pirates. Everyone makes fun of him. And says, what? But he doesn't care what they say because he knows that's what he wants. And I think that's where we want to end it. Oh, that got very blurry. And look at how that cleared up. Interesting. Distortion, right? I did talk about us here. See, I didn't even do this on purpose, but I think it's cool how this looks perfect. And then we get down to the earth, and the earth is distorted. That is the point of the earth, right? Distortion, so that you know what home is. Alright, I hope this helped. If it did, please help me as well with a like, a comment, subscribe if you want to keep hanging out with readings like these. I want more friends, so subscribe.